Why the housing market has not crashed yet. There was a rumor flying around town that the real estate market would collapse in 2022, but surprisingly it has not crashed yet, and now the matter of curiosity is how it is still holding up so well. And what does the situation say about the status of the housing market? And will it crash at the end of 2022? We'll reveal all this information in this video, so be all ears. In this video, we're going to talk about the housing market, its current state, future developments, and whether or not it will crash. We'll discuss pricing and mortgage rate trends in the U.S. and whether or not now is a good time to buy a house. Consequently, this video will be helpful to you if you're interested in purchasing a home. Therefore, view this video before deciding whether or not to purchase a home or other property. Give us a like, share, and subscribe to our channel before that. Now, let's begin the video. Everyone aspires to own their own home because a home is a basic need, but having it is not simple, especially with the current inflation. Before purchasing one, many spend several years working. Your situation and preferences should be considered when buying a home. However, it's preferable to stay up to date with the nation's and market's present status. Many experts, including banks and the Fed, claimed that the housing market would crash in 2022. But we're more than halfway through the year, and we have not seen the prices of houses reduced by even a small fraction. Rather, they are increasing day by day. The prices of houses spiked remarkably high during and after the pandemic. There are some factors that affect the housing market, and we're going to explain those today. The mortgage rate and house pricing. The housing market is significantly impacted by mortgage rates. There are fewer purchasers in the market as the mortgage amount increases. Mortgage rates and home prices do not directly correlate, although a high price does indicate a high mortgage rate. The mortgage rate was 3.25% at the beginning of 2022. It then rose to 5.55%, and in July of 2022 reached 6.27%. The global epidemic and its after effects are to blame for the increase. Mortgages decreased, but following the epidemic, mortgage prices reached a record high. At the beginning of January, there was a $1,300 mortgage on a $400,000 property in the U.S. It is currently $1,976. A similar home requires a down payment of 29%, not to mention that the house's price has climbed significantly over the past few years. The cost of homes has increased almost by a factor of 20. The National Association of Realtors reports that in 2022, house sales had decreased for 6 straight months. Interest rates and the housing market. House sales are directly impacted by interest rates. House sales decline when interest rates rise. In the U.S., interest rates are increasing every month. The interest rates for a 15-year and a 30-year fixed mortgage respectively were 2.3% and 3% in the previous year. Now those interest rates are 4.8% and 5.7% respectively as of 2022. This is likely not the end of this. Between now and the end of the year, the federal government could decide to raise the interest rate even more. Therefore, a decline in home sales is anticipated. People are scared they won't be able to pay such high interest rates because of the ongoing inflation. Supply and demand for housing. The U.S. housing supply is monitored by the Federal Reserve Economic Data. It should take 6 months to sell every home in a healthy market. There's now an imbalance between supply and demand for homes. Fewer homes are available on the market and demand is higher. The age group of people in their 30s represent 31% of property buyers. Gen Z is now trailing millennials in the market for home purchases. There will be a lot of demand for homes on the market. The supply chain is the issue. There are 3 reasons for that. 1. In the previous year, not enough homes were constructed. 2. The cost of the available homes is too high. And 3. The price of building supplies on the market has increased and there's been a delay. These variables collectively have led to higher prices and fewer home sales. There is yet time before the housing crisis is resolved, despite the efforts of the American government. Foreclosures in homes. In the market since the epidemic, the foreclosure rate has dropped to 30%, and more people are losing their homes to the bank than previously. One of the causes of that was a government ban on foreclosures during the pandemic. Thus, the bank's options were limited. However, when the ban was lifted, They acted without delay. For homeowners whose income is unpredictable, this is terrible news because they'll be seeking other homes on the market. For home buyers, now might be the ideal time to purchase a foreclosure. The supply of homes could rise as a result of more foreclosures. The global situation and housing. The ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine has hurt the American economy. Energy and other good prices have increased as a result of the restriction on Russian oil. Every month, inflation increases. High interest rates and high property prices are the results of this. People are currently concerned with their everyday costs and how the conflict will impact their lives in the United States. The home market has lost a lot of people's interest. Research indicates that in March of 2022, consumer confidence reached a 10-year low. Typically, in that circumstance, the Federal Reserve would attempt to cut interest rates for people in an effort to lower prices and promote interest in real estate. However, in the wake of high inflation, this proposal has not yet been carried out. What will happen at the end of 2022? If we talk about the cost of properties, there are no interruptions in that trend. At the beginning of the year, mortgage rates and rent costs were higher. May 2022 house sales are down 8.6% from April of 2022 due to pricing increases, and they're down 3.4% from May 2021. Data and analytical experts predict that the real estate market will certainly cross the line if there are any further increases in home prices. To address the housing shortage in the United States, President Biden has recommended agreements for supply and demand. Various real estate brokers and builders are striving to increase the number of homes available for sale. However, it'll take time, so people will have to wait. Therefore, it's reasonable to assume that the number of home sales will decline through the end of the year. Should you buy a new house? This is the question you should be asking yourself right now. If you intend to purchase a home, you might want to wait for prices to decrease. However, no one can predict with certainty if it will occur. Who knows? Perhaps the cost will increase. A real estate specialist predicts that although the number of homes in the U.S. will slowly increase, a price decline is improbable. Therefore, if you're hoping for a decrease in housing prices soon, it probably won't happen. Your needs should guide whether you decide to buy or sell a home. Nevertheless, there are indicators such as an elevated mortgage rate, a decline in home sales, and an elevated interest rate. However, there's no guarantee that it will lower real estate costs. Don't wait for the market to change. Make sure you're prepared to purchase a home. Market competitiveness is something to take into account. You'll face more competition for a single house and have to wait a long time for the appropriate home because there are more buyers than there are residences. A strong savings account, emergency cash, a down payment prepared, a way to pay the mortgage, and the readiness of you and your family for a home should all be present before making a purchase. Should you sell your home? It may be now is the finest moment to sell your house if you're a seller. You'll obtain a terrific price for your home due to the intense competition. However, be certain if you want to sell your home and have a reliable real estate agent. Don't rush things merely for the sake of the money. The bottom line: the housing market is not going to crash because everyone needs a roof over their head. So there will always be demand for houses in the market even if prices get too high. Confidence is the key in the real estate market, whether you're buying or selling. You must be certain about what you desire. You should work with the top agent available who can meet your needs. Go with your flow rather than the current of the market. We'll end the video here. If you want to stay up to date on the current situation in the United States, leave a comment below. And don't forget to like our video, share it, and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.